Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Chemda.
I'm Keith Malley.
And today's such a special day because last week we heard clips of your favorite moments of all of Keith and the Girl for 2021. And now we're going to talk to the winners. We're going to reveal the winners thanks to your votes on our forums, keithandthegirl.com/forums. And we're going to talk to them. We're going to call every winner and see what they think about their fantastic, most ridiculous moments, best new guest, all of these things. Keith, how do you feel about today?
I'm very excited. Life only offers you so many great moments. A 2-second orgasm, a chocolate chip cookie. This is one of them, right? I picked up the newspaper today. I saw a guy got hit in a hit and run. The hit or just got hit
Okay.
by an ambulance.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
Did they get out of the ambulance and go, oh, what happened?
Well,
thank God we're here. Or is there a rule because they end up calling another ambulance? Can you not be part of your own investigation? How do you bring that up during training? Let's say I hit someone. Well, you're fired. Like, okay, but shouldn't it be discussed if I do?
right. Do you waive the ambulance fee, which is like one of the main reasons people don't call 911 is you're going to get a fee of like, I think it's $500, $1,000.
We can't continue unless we have your insurance, sir. You motherfucker.
But they both are asking for insurance. The ambulance is asking for medical insurance, and the person who got hit is asking for their auto insurance.
Right.
Very tricky.
But today is a happy time is the point. Here's other good news. Remember, we said Matt Backus brought up in front of Kenda his mistake that he'll get back on his podcast soon called Hold My Bread. And Kenda said, well, I have a calendar here. Let's talk. And turns out he made a mistake and said, I'll do one by Monday.
Yeah, this is apparently a tactic that I have that's just has become a knee-jerk reaction to things. When people go, yeah, I'm going to write a book. I go, when? You can't just say that.
You don't say that in front of her. So Monday came, Monday went, and the podcast is up. Now, it's only a 6-minute podcast, but he made a promise. The description is, thank you if you found this from Keith and the Girl. So that's the power of Keith and the Girl, everybody. There's a Hold My Bread episode for you, and you can go in and out. It doesn't take up your day. All right. He gets in his investments. He's ready to kill himself over his ex-girlfriend. All of that in 6 minutes. And
wow.
All he learned now is he's very verbose in general. Shows only need to be 6 minutes. You know? All right, let's call up some winners, okay? Up first, we're going to do best new guest. And again, almost 40 new guests in this new year, Kenda.
I mean, this person competed with Dana Gould. Am I right? I mean, the guy from The Simpsons, this is a lot of heavy hitters in here. And I don't want to start mentioning all the names because there were so many, but I knew he would win. There's something about him in our audience that mixed well. So good. So
right.
Here he is.
But you're not wrong. I'm looking at names that he was competing against. I'm looking at Trevor Moore, Mark DeMeo, Jenny Zagrino. But here he is, best new guest of 2021, Micah Fox's boyfriend, Tim McLaughlin. Hello, Tim.
Oh, hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. I understand that you had septum surgery recently. You're on your way to the doctor to take out the tissues. Is that correct?
That's right. I'm walking on the Upper East Side right now to the doctor to get the stuff in my nose unpacked.
And did Micah hit you? You can say.
Yeah, remind me the nose problem in the first place.
I had a polyp that I've just been hit in the face a bunch of times.
That because of your personality?
Yeah, because of my personality and my drinking and how I like to carry on.
Okay.
Wow.
And between that and you brought up quickly, it seemed like it's being less of a problem. Do you need tissues in your asshole from your drinking? You would have some leakage. Have you curbed that behavior?
Well, I haven't drank for about 3 weeks, so that hasn't been necessary as of recent.
Okay, that is a move, right? When you're like, I think I'm gonna drink tonight, and Micah knows shit might fall out of your ass.
Well, I think it's really nice that
she didn't come up with it, and I don't do it for her. I do it for me and my pants. I have a very sparing amount of pants, so
right. You got to say
I do it to spare the pants.
What do you think the audience enjoys most about you? Was this a surprise to you? Do you have any thoughts on it?
It was a big surprise. I heard I beat out Jenny Zagrino, which is good to hear.
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, that makes me feel real good. Jenny Zagrino stayed on my couch one night complaining about her career, and then like 2 days later, she was in the new Bad Santa movie. So this is a big one up on her for me.
Yeah, throw that in her face today.
Yeah, but I think my connection to Micah is what did it. I think I have to give this all to God first of all, of course. And then I have to give it to my second God, which is Micah, who pays most of our bills.
Sure. And by the way, it is very funny when you guys bring up on your show, Great Hang is the podcast. When you bring up how you're not working, and she has a look on her face like I really want to kill you. I appreciate you going through that because that is very enjoyable to the listener. And keep it going. Your show's fantastic.
Thank you very much. I try to make it as stern-esque as possible. Just create as much drama and get as much radio out of it as you can.
Right. And then Stern got a divorce, right?
Yeah. But then he got hooked up with someone even hotter. So
right. So it's win-win for you.
Yeah. I don't see this going anywhere bad.
Well, go get your tissues taken out. This doesn't sound like a big deal, right? It was the surgery that's the big deal.
The surgery sucked. I've been sleeping sitting straight up for the last 4 days, which has been the worst. But this is gonna suck, I think, real bad. But I think once it's over, it'll be okay.
Okay. Well, congratulations all around, and it was very nice meeting you, Tim.
Well, it was great to be. I'm super happy. When I got the email yesterday, I lost my shit. So this is awesome.
All right. Excellent. Was Micah upset that she didn't win something, period, even if she didn't understand what this category was?
She was happy that just something good was happening for me in general. She thinks it may lead to money. So.
Right. All right. I got to get out of here, Tim. Take care. Congrats. All right.
I like that. So we talked about, and on this call, how he has to put tissues in his butt because of the leakage, but now he needs to put them in his nose. At least he doesn't have to double up. He went from his butt to his nose. And I think life is working out better and better for him. It sounds like when you go from tissues in your butt to tissues in your nose, that's a step up.
Imagine with COVID, there's only so many tissues in his house and he's got to decide. But I guess the nose ones are different, right? The nose is probably the doctor. All right. Next category. We're starting deep. Most heartbreaking. Now, there are 3 in this category. Courtney's rape with Courtney McGinnis.
I wish we came up with a different title for that. It's very direct. And what else can you say? Right. But okay.
There's only one rape experience shared this year. If there were multiple, we could have had the best rape category. But right now we have most heartbreaking.
Again, we maybe would have powwowed about the title.
Paul Hooper finding Clinton Noor's body. These were neck and neck, by the way, by 1 vote, as a matter of fact. Third place, of course, Newsies crying blowjob. Nobody gave a shit about that, right? We will now call the winner for most heartbreaking. Cheerful music.
It is, yeah. I wonder how many people are going for their phone or like, oh my God, I have my Skype on. What's happening? I'm at work. I'm in a conference.
Hello?
Hello. I would like to call you and congratulate you on winning most heartbreaking moment on Keith and the Girl for 2021. Just do me the favor and tell me I have the right phone number.
You have the right phone number. This is the one and only Courtney McGinnis.
Hello, Courtney.
Woman alive. Hi, guys.
Well, I wanted to thank you again for your bravery, talking about a rape that happened to you and how you're still dealing with it. I appreciate, I know listeners that makes them feel better going through this stuff. But I really had the big burden, as we were just alluding to, trying to find a name for this. You're putting up an award that says Courtney's rape on your shelf. That could be. I'm not sure what to name these things.
Oh my God, Keith is calling you for you to reward him. What the hell is happening, Courtney? I really didn't want to call you about this, but you were. It was you talked about it beautifully in a way that was so vulnerable and so open and still very engaging. I know that this is a very heartbreaking moment, so we appreciate it. And somehow, like, the show was still funny. And I think you said this was the first time you shared it publicly.
Well, yeah, on like a big podcast like yours, it was, and I appreciate you guys saying that, and I do hope that, you know, the only reason I feel okay enough to say those, someone else feel better, but I really think we should focus on how hard this has been for Keith. Definitely.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Yes.
I really, you know, I worry about it.
you gotta jiggle everything just so this new world. Like, what do you do today? I give it awards for rape. I mean, this is a lot of pressure on me. I made another mistake I'd like to apologize for. During the text telling Courtney this information.
Oh my God.
She said,
"Oh, come on, weird. What did you do?"
She said, "It's weird to be congratulated for this, but I'm honored." She threw in some laughing faces. And I went, "Well, we focus on the positions." Positive. Jesus, I didn't mean positions. We focus on the positive.
I'd like to think that you're just that good of a comedy writer and not that was autocorrect.
Once any of it's okay, I think everything's okay. Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Truly horrible. Well, I'm amazing. Keith continues to be a bad guy. What a 2021 this was.
What do you have going on today? How do you celebrate?
How do I celebrate? How do I celebrate a traumatic? You know what? I'm going to call my therapist.
Yeah, there you go.
I think I'll celebrate by a little therapy, maybe some white wine, hanging out with my husband. My three big favorites.
Well, honestly, when we started this show 17 years ago, we didn't think about could it be considered life changing. It really was entertainment, and these things do affect people. It lets them move on. You know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And once again, we appreciate it very much.
Thank you, guys. I love you both with all my heart, and I love everyone. Thank you. And you had a bunch of listeners that reached out to me, and I really appreciate it. And that community makes everyone feel better. I love y'all so much. For real.
You're
Thank
so
you
great.
so much.
Excellent. I'd say hi to Casey, but this is your reward. This is your award, and it's your day. Okay.
Thank you, guys. I love you guys.
Okay.
Keeping the girl forever.
We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Courtney.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, are they the best couple?
Right?
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. We should have like a whole thing of couples and then best couple of the year. All right. The wheels are turning. But anyway, we have to continue. It's so good to talk to Courtney anytime. And that's funny because this is the most heartbreaking award. And it's funny that it's still such a pleasure to talk to her.
Yeah. Now we're up to the winner of Best Fight. Oh, it was a year. It was a year of fighting, wasn't it?
There's always this, we rotate different categories. So there's not always the same categories depending on what happened of the year, but right. There's always Best Fight.
Yeah, there's always Best Fight. There's always Best Rant. You can count on those. Here were your choices. Wyatt Cenac versus Jon Stewart. Keith versus Craig Klein over the movie Mortal Kombat. Keith versus Kyle Ocasio over the movie In Plain Sight.
Is that interesting, Keith?
Keith versus Kenda over the movie The King of Staten Island.
So you're in 3 out of 4 of these. I just want you to note that that's your 2021. Just a little mental note for you.
With 50% of the votes. Wasn't close. Ring.
Hello.
Hi, Kenda. Congratulations. You won a CAC award for Keith versus Kenda, the King of Staten Island.
Fuck, I thought I blocked this number. Come on. I did not want this to win. In fact, I pleaded during the awards, please vote for something else. Don't you guys enjoy when Craig and Keith fight, especially when Keith is fighting himself and pretending to do Craig's voice? Isn't that fun?
I enjoyed this fight so much as it was happening in real time. It seems I'm exacerbated. But deep down, I know she's dead wrong. And, listen to the nominations if you're confused what I'm talking about, of course. But I knew she's dead wrong. I knew it only gets sillier and sillier. The whole segment is about 10 minutes long easily. And then to find out she then does finish the movie and loves it after I recommended it, apparently. Well, I mean, what a great day all around. The days never ended.
It was a very sweet movie. And I know that I already apologized to you, so I'm not going to do it again.
Okay.
But I am going to apologize to the king of Staten Island himself.
Oh,
I was wrong. And I don't like that it's out there that I put down your art. So Pete Davidson, here's to you.
you guys might be dating. Just tell him yourself. I don't know what's going on with this guy. All right. We're going to continue in one moment, of course. Let me tell you about stamps.com and how to start your new year right. 2022. This has to be it finally, right? It's got to be your year. Well, start saving a couple bucks. How about that? Stop wasting your time at the post office. How about that? For more than 20 years, stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses. All right. We're fans of them. All you need is a computer, standard paper. You're printing out stamps in your house. What? Save time and money. This is the year to do it. You do it with stamps.com. Sign up with promo code KATG for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, free postage. How is that legal? Free postage. That's money where I'm from. A digital scale you also get for free. No long-term commitments or contracts. Keep the scale, of course. Just go to stamps.com, click the microphone on the top of the page, and enter the code KATG. And like we've mentioned before, if you ever miss a code, this kind of thing, take a look at keithandthegirl.com/coupons, and you'll see everything right there.
You said a free scale and free stamps.
Yes. That's just for you for trying it out for 4 weeks free.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. That's most goofiest deal. I say get on it until they figure it the fuck out, right? Yeah. I read the information. The post office is going through a thing today, and I'm like, I would assume you're giving out free scales. Check with who you're working with, you know. All right, Chemda.
Yes.
We have our next call to make. Okay.
Oh.
That was me pressing the wrong button. Okay. This is me filling time. Okay. This is the most goofiest moment. And your choices were Chemda's Puppuccino. Explain it to everybody what a puppuccino is. Chemda, please.
First of all, you should all know what a puppuccino is in case you want one from Starbucks. Okay. I believe it's free. It's I never really checked the receipt, but what could they charge you for? It's a little shot glass and a to-go shot glass of whipped cream. They call it a puppuccino because apparently your dog is supposed to have it, but shh, I don't have a dog. And I secretly order a puppuccino and then I slowly add it to my coffee. So I don't know why that's goofy. I think it's fantastic. Obviously, because I made fun like there's a dog outside, so I'm allowed to order puppuccinos.
Sure. And then picture Chemda like, oh, my dog's not here today, but can I? Yeah, it'd have to be a mess. Also up for most goofiest Big Proud Boats. That's with Newsy, as well as Chemda's Puppuccino, and also with Newsy. So we know who the winner is going to be. Is Sniffies, when he introduced Sniffies to me. So
this was fantastic. Newsy on Q&A, which is behind your VIP package, always introduces us to something new. And this week was Sniffies. So of course, Keith in the background, as we're talking, went to sniffies.com and couldn't even help but respond. And it was the goofiest response. He turned into a Muppet. It was amazing.
It was shocking. And here it is. Most goofiest moment, Sniffies, featuring Newsy. Hello, Newsy. Congratulations.
Oh, hello. What, am I on the air?
Yes, you are, my friend. You had the goofiest moment, and my computer has never been the same. I'll tell you that.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Before the show, Chemda said, do you want to look at Sniffies, while as we do the show? This scares me.
Ooh.
This is I guess if you're, should Newsy people be less nervous about coming out of the closet because there are all these features out there available for them? And with Sniffies, you come out of the closet, you can come everywhere, right? You see a picture of a door.
Oh my gosh. Sniffies should be the champion against bi erasure. There's so many men out there in relationships, not in relationships. They want to get their toe in the water, but they're like, I don't fucking know. So come sniffing, buddy. Just come sniff around.
Come sniff around.
How do you find the latest? You always have I never even heard of Sniffies before you told us about it. How are you always finding the new app?
I swear to you, every once in a while, I will just put into like a Google search as if I'm a curious straight guy. I'm like, oh, what would I search if I was looking for dick? And so sometimes I'll just put in like gay, local, sex, something or other, and Snippy's came up. So, simple searches work.
That's so funny that you think like a straight guy, because that's what you're kind of going for, right?
Yeah, that's the meat. That's the prey.
Well, I'm telling you, at 63% of the votes, people are down for this. They like the idea of you sharing it with me, and I appreciate it too, because to be white and straight and run the world as it is, you almost want to keep some things to yourself, I have to assume. So I do want to thank you for that.
What did you think?
Go ahead. Yesterday around 9 a.m., I get up and kind of like the first thing I do after I walk my dog and stuff is I check all the sex apps, the Sniffies, the FetLife, and all that kind of stuff. There was one guy on there who's just like, the smelly bald mechanic. He was on and he was just like, hey, you want to do this and this and that? And then didn't respond. And so I was like, whatever. Later on my day, around 3 o'clock, I sign on and it shows that he's 300 feet away and saying like, and he immediately messages me when I got on. He's just like, hey, I'm hard and horny. What's up? And so I was like, sure, whatever. Come on. And obviously I blew up. But that means that regardless of what I said, this guy knows the general area that I live in. So it's like, if he's a bored day, he can just come camp out in the area till I sign on. And then just be like, oh, hey, I just happen to be around. When you're 300 feet away and you live 13 miles away, I think you came here for a reason.
And you love this, right? Like you're not scared that someone's stalking you. You're like, this is a fan.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, wow. Well, I guess one could consider it that way. Yeah, but yes, I think about it as a fan. It's like going to a restaurant and they tell you that there's like a reservation. So you got to wait. And he's like, wait in your car for a little bit. I think that's kind of what he does. He just like waits in his car until his reservation is up.
Well, this is very exciting. And and we just checked in. You are alive. That's good news. From all these experiences.
Did this guy get a newsy twosie or it was one and done?
Oh, no, he's a one and done. He said specifically, he's like, I'm only going to come in and watch porn while you blow me. I said, okay, who cares? And then I think, honestly, the whole interaction may have taken like a minute, 45 seconds, 2 minutes, and then he left.
I can't even find porn that quickly. Wow. That's amazing.
When he said he showed up like ready to go, he's ready to go. So I'm only happy to oblige that kind of like quick service. Come on.
Now you're known, and I do mean known apparently at this point, for being a giver, and that's what turns you on. You can just go into somebody's house, blow them, you're pleased. Is it offensive at all, though, that the guy has porn in front of him and he can't just concentrate on that beautiful mug of yours?
No, because like I know that I'm doing the work. I think that's more on him. It's just like, well, if I'm still watching chicks, and it's not really gay. It's just like, girl, whatever. I don't care. I don't care
chicks.
How you right. Watch chicks all you want to. There's not a chick in front of you, is there?
Right.
It's me, your boy, Newsy.
Now, how is he? Is he watching it on his own phone?
Yeah. There are some guys I've gone over to their place and they've got like, throw up on the Chromecast, throw some porn on or whatever. And I'm like, that's so fucking distracting. I don't know. Just like, let me do what I do. You don't need the porn. Maybe it's like helps ease people's mind. I don't know. But yeah, he was looking at his phone. While
I have one more question about this. Headphones or out loud? And if it's out loud, does it bother you?
It's weird because I didn't hear the sounds until maybe like the last 5 seconds. So maybe he like was searching or he had the volume down or something like that. Then the sound came on and all of a sudden I was just like, oh yeah, my roommate is still in the house. So I don't know. Guess she's
oh my God,
something important.
He turned the sound on so he can come more, right? Because it's like now you have surround sound and I'm about to do this.
What an amazing experience you get to have here at Newsy Chews Sniffy Emporium.
When I'm getting a blowjob, I do my taxes. I like to know they're trying hard,
I've done that before. I drove out to a guy's place in the hotel and he was like sending emails, and at the end of it he was just like, thanks, nobody's ever like let me do work while it was happening. I was like, all right, man, whatever.
How long did that guy take?
Well, that one was like,
that was a conference call, so that took a bit.
Right. I made a trek out there. He was getting like a massage, getting like the whole nine and stuff like that. So he had time to answer some emails.
All right.
Wow. And one more question for you. What did you think of Keith's response to Sniffies that got you this award?
It's fucking great. I hope that there are people out there listening to this show that they're not writing in because, you know, maybe they're not forthcoming as their business as me, but I hope that Keith's reaction drove them to Sniffies and they're out there having their own adventures. You know, I still think that Sniffy should be paying us for that clip. It's too good.
For going, oh shit, no, I did not tell you where I live. How do you know where I live? You think they would support that?
Yeah. It's fine. It's all opt in, you know, we're all opting in, consensual.
I'll click. The computer's like, I'll click yes for you. Like, I didn't know a website can do that on its own. Do me a favor, stick around. I want to get to the next category. Biggest political statement. Okay. Biggest political statement. Now, here were the categories. Aaron Rodgers and Joe Rogan. Aaron Rodgers, of course, had his personal doctor, Joe Rogan, tell him what to do during COVID and to not admit that he didn't get the vaccine, apparently. I picture Joe Rogan going, leave me out of this. I got enough problems.
Okay.
Dave Chappelle can't let it go. That was with Rod Morrow and Newsy. And that was based, of course, on Dave Chappelle's latest special that got everybody yapping. And of course, I thought this special was out of line, completely transphobic for about an hour's worth. But with all the yapping you get out of it, I hope he does one weekly. And also in that category was compromise, the silliness of each side saying to the other side, you know, why don't you join me a little bit? You're not listening to, you know, blah, 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 which meanwhile, they just believe in their point 100%. Biggest political statement. Dave Chappelle can't let it go, featuring Rod Morrow and Newsy. Hello, Rod. Are you with us?
Listen, I don't have the student loan money yet, but I'm gonna.
No, Rod.
Get it.
No, Rod, it's Keith and the girl. We called you from a different number just to say congratulations on biggest political statement.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Only when white people are on my phone, it's a debt collection type thing. The confused. My bad. Thank you I'm just so happy to win. Okay,
certainly.
Thank you so much, everybody. You know, Newsy was such a great person to be on with, and I just enjoyed roasting the hell out of Dave and his special with all of y'all. It was very special for me.
It's not often that I'm asked to be on a panel where people are asking for my intelligent opinion about stuff. So I also thank you.
Yes. We didn't.
And congrats on being alive, Newsy. Congratulations, man. Hey, listen, if I had to bet on that, I would have lost that money. You know what I mean? Woo!
I pick up a phone. It's Newsy's debt or student debt.
Yeah, you know, this is a good day. It's all good news.
No, it's very, it happened to be the next day or whatever it was that I wanted to talk about this special, and both these guys happened to be around for it. Yeah, because we all hear, you know, different people making different points of view. I say, listen to this show featuring these two. I think it's fantastic. Maybe there's some things you haven't thought about before.
Yeah, it's on YouTube as well.
Yeah, if you're Craig Klein, listen to it again. You know, like listen to it as many times as it takes to really understand where we're coming from, Craig.
I mean, I shared the show to a friend who was posting on Facebook, Dave Chappelle's the GOAT, and I shared the show, and he called me for like the first time in years, just be like, hey, I heard your show. I agree. And I don't want you to think I'm a transphobe. And I was like, look at the power of podcast.
Wow. And the show is called The GOAT. Am I right, Keith?
Yes.
It's a Keith and the Girl episode called The GOAT. Really, both of you were so fantastic. There's a thing in the air, of course, because Dave Chappelle is such a big comic and we work with comics and they think they're going to lose a job sometimes if they have an opinion that's opposing one of the biggest comics, as if like he was just about to call you to open for him, but then you talk this shit on Keith and the Girl and he doesn't want. So we've had a lot of comedians, when there's controversy, sit down before the show and say, but I don't want to talk about this. And we've talked about
same thing happened. And this, of course, is much worse, but same thing happened with Louis C.K. People before the show, comics would be like, oh, yeah, this is bullshit. But, you know, the women, they could have spoke out sooner. But, but anyway. And I go, okay, let's talk about this on the show. He goes, the guest, and it's always a guy when I say he, the guy's like, well, no, I mean, I don't want to get involved, maybe. And just like him to saying, it's maybe you're going to lose a job. Well, these people, were sexually assaulted, but, well, why don't they say something? But you, as if Dave Chappelle or Louis C.K. knows you in any way, are nervous. It's funny when that comes up.
They actually had the job to lose. You're not even in his vicinity, in his thought process. They had the job to lose, but they should have spoken out. You don't have the job at all, but you don't want to speak out, not even directly to him. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to add two things. Number one, wouldn't that make Mr. Why y'all getting so offended? Wouldn't that make him the bitch? If he was like, I heard a podcast and you said you didn't like what I said.
Right.
And even though I'm Mr. Everybody needs to get over themselves, you're never working with me. And then the other part of it is if you did get if you're going to try to use this moment to get Dave Chappelle's attention or Louis C.K.'s attention, saying no comment, that's the wrong way to go. You should be like, you didn't fucking rape those bitches, bro.
Right.
He's fucking innocent. Like, either way, you laid up soft, Right.
Also, if you're a comic and you're like, I should be able to laugh about anything, figure out a joke for when this thing comes up, since it's in your atmosphere.
Yes.
And now we schooled everybody.
I love y'all.
Okay. But congratulations to both of you, and we appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
We will now go on to the
Q&A.
Q&A. We'll reminisce all about it, and of course, the black guy who tips. You want that on your podcast list as well. All these guests, they have a podcast. You want to check it out. Next category: best rant. Now, here are your choices. We had cats versus dogs. That was with Karen Mora. We had Ross, Rachel, and the end of the world. Ross and Rachel, that being a debate that you could compromise or discuss with somebody. I think that's the downfall of civilization. Keith's Squid Game review was under best rant, as well as fast food etiquette with John F. O'Donnell, how I'm saying how to behave in a fast food restaurant. And it's not just I was talking about a server killed, somebody who said their fries were cold, or got oil thrown in their face. Yeah, of course, you don't do that. But at the same time, understand it works vice versa too. Even if you are the worker, assume the other side could kill you. Everybody just has to be too polite in these jobs. I just read a story today, 19-year-old in East Harlem. She was working after midnight. It's a 24-hour Burger King. Who the fuck needs that? Who needs a 24-hour Burger King in a city? That's ridiculous. Let part of the city sleep. You're asking for trouble. Well, anyway, a guy came in, robbed the place, smacked a couple people in the head, and shot her in the chest. She just asked to work the day shift. The manager said, well, it's the end of the week. Finish off this week. And then on Monday, we'll start you on the day shift. She's dead now. I assume you're, fries don't come with it. Fries don't, everything comes with it. Cake comes with it. I come with it. My car comes with it. Here's the deed. Don't mess around on either side of this, to be clear.
You know what? You were in the Army and you don't describe it as harshly as potentially working at a fast food restaurant after hours.
No, there are rules to war. Hours. You've heard this silliness, right? There are actually rules to war, rules of engagement. Burger King doesn't have that. And you have oil in your face. Do you know in war, you can't use chemical attacks and you can't throw oil in people's faces. In Burger King, it's anything goes. All right. Yes, there's a huge difference. All right. Now, here it is. We have the winner on the line, best rant. And some of these, this is what came down to one vote. One vote. Voting matters. Cats versus dogs, featuring Karen Morrow. Hello, Karen.
Meow, 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 meow.
These cows. No, it's a cat. A cat killed her. Oh, it's Karen. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, a cat killed me. We thought y'all were Peter. My bad.
How you doing, Karen?
Doing good. Shout out to all the cats out there that inspired that rant. We see you out there, Feline.
No, of course it was. It seemed like you would hear that and think, well, isn't it Keith that's really doing the rant here? But no, it's definitely Karen that kept it going. I think I would be done with a sentence or two, and Karen would be like, I don't quite know about that. And then she just pulls the ripcord and keeps it going.
It's sort of the assist, right?
That's the love. Yes. That's I yes and meowed you on to the next one.
Yes,
Right.
and the way to yes and Keith is to go, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure. I've never been more sure.
Yeah, yes and means you rile Keith up and Keith yes ands himself. Are you kidding me? But that was very fun. You, of course, you're always very fun. And we do last week on Keith and the Girl. Now we're doing it this year with Rod and Karen together. We think that's a lot of fun. And who's making a return every other week, Kemda? Who's making a return?
So the return this Monday is Bianca Brady. She will be hosting the new Last Week on Keith. Right now, she's listening and taking notes.
Mhm.
So, put your stuff on the forums. She'll read it, and take a note of it, and she'll be back. So get your VIP membership, keithandthegirl.com/VIP. And this week, as we mentioned before, both Karen and Rod are together. So you get Karen and Rod some weeks, and you get Bianca the other weeks. And I can't tell you what a great start to 2022 that we have all these people working together with us.
There you go.
Yes, double dose. Everybody's back in the house, y'all.
Exciting. That's right. Karen, thank you very much. I'm going to let you go back to doing the dishes, but I want to thank you for picking up the phone, and congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, you said doing the dishes. Is that what you heard in the background?
That's what it sounds like I was hearing.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, you just told a woman to go back in the kitchen. I think maybe a new listener might be like, wait, what?
I see. What were you working on, Karen? I'm going to say changing a car tire. That's what.
Okay. Yeah. That's
something was going. And I just got a text from the Morrows, and it was Rod that was doing the dishes. He got his award. He was done. He's decided to start cooking.
Yeah. All right. That's perfect.
Next category, most ridiculous. What was the most ridiculous moment of 2021? Here were your choices. Chemda learns of Hilaria Baldwin with the great
That was
Jess Wood.
hilarious.
That was funny. Keith reviews In the Heights. Chemda as Mark DeMeo. And
That wasn't ridiculous. That was just spot on.
And who's going to be the new Jeopardy host? At 55% of the votes, far and away, Chemda learns of Hilaria Baldwin, featuring Jess Wood. Hello, Jess Wood.
Hello.
How are you? Congrats. I'm glad you were there with us.
I'm so glad. Thanks for having me. I'm always excited to be included with y'all. You're a gas. Come on.
Well, you, of course, you know about voices. You're a woman of a million of them. Do you ever use your voices for evil?
I have. I'm not going to lie to you. I have in the past.
Will you
and
use
by evil, you mean like a white person taking a job from someone of color and doing it?
We all have to live, right?
Yeah. Yes, I'm guilty of that. But more guilty are the people that hired me, because I always ask them to please hire someone before me. Who is that person? Please.
With a wink.
Hi, Jess. I am so glad that you're here in the reward center. It's always a great excuse to call you for whatever reason. We have to have you on more often. The marathon is coming. God, I hope you can make that. We're sending out an email pretty soon to all the potential guests, because Jess, as soon as she comes in, whether we're 20 hours in or whatever, that bolt of energy comes in, and we have such a blast. Love talking to you.
Same. Thanks, you guys. Same. I have so much energy. You should see me here in Albuquerque. Everyone's like, Jesus, it's the Tasmanian devil. She's made it. It's, I have a lot of energy comparatively.
What do you think,
folks here,
to get your side of things, Jess? What is more embarrassing or a shame in that household? That Hilaria Baldwin pretended that she was, barely spoke English because that's sexy and she had to play dumb her whole life, or that Alec Baldwin shot somebody and killed them? What do you think they're more ashamed of in that household?
I think she's taking the bullet. I don't mean right. But I do think she's taking it. Come on. That's insane.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
people die all the time. Keith, Kanda, let's be honest. People die all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, God bless the poor lady on the set, but really, the fucking impersonating a person? Oh, man. Impersonating a whole culture? No,
It's so-
I think that's the worst.
It's so deliberate, right? Like you have to make a conscious choice every day. You can't have, I was saying you can't have nightmares, but just, I remember in the clip, we were talking about how do you do this with an accent? You have to remember this in an accent. While you're having sex, you have to put on an accent, like all these times. Whereas Alec Baldwin thought that it was a prop gun. So at least it wasn't like this premeditated over and over and over again every day. It's crazy.
Exactly. And even I know people that have used guns for violence, and they're not as terrible as Hilaria.
Right. You still slept
Like,
with them. Hilaria would be too
done.
much. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh God. I'd rather have an authentic bitch in their van than some fake, with a gun than some fakeo. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Well, Jess, thank you so much for being part of this with us. We appreciate it. And like
I
Kenda
love
said,
you
you're
guys.
always a joy, of course.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, as well. Huh?
What should we be listening to? What are you up to? What can we catch with you in it?
Oh my goodness. Well, right now I'm just really excitedly doing my weekly show. So you can see Get Wood podcast. You can hear it on any of the platforms, but Get Wood on Instagram, Get Wood 69 on YouTube. Hello. I don't know when I made that fucking thing up. I feel so weird now. Of course, now I'm like a grown up and I'm like, who does that to every single thing she has? 69, Get Wood, suck a dick. What's happening? I'm like, well, no shame in my game, babies. You know what I mean? We're good. So,
Well, we should all get some wood.
Yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
like,
hell
I
yeah.
have a new show. It's called Eat My Clitoris. And I'm like, what's it about, Jess? And she's like, what's it about? I don't know. Just came up with the title today.
The clitoris, the oldest dinosaur, and that man has never found.
It's the jury's still out. Jess, thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much. Happy New Year.
And there you have it, everybody. Thank you so much. Boop. And say hi on the forums, by the way. This is where you voted, but KeithAndTheGirl.com/forums, as well as Keith and the Girl under Reddit. Say hi, share a line, etc., etc. Kenda?
Also, today is January 12th. As of this recording, happy birthday to Xerxes. Shout out to Xerxes. All he wants for his birthday is for you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's right. He's telling me, what's that? Yep, YouTube channel. He said, don't forget to hit the bell.
Oh,
happy
all right.
birthday, Xerxes. I love you.
KeithAndTheGirl.com.